Last night, my daughter Therese was practicing the number 5. My wife is teaching her how to write her numbers. She's written 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. You know, it's something that's good for a 3-year-old to do. It's not something you would expect that our 10-month-old would be able to do, nor is it something that you would expect that a 20-year-old would need to learn. You know, on a natural level, there's different things that are appropriate for different people based on how old they are, how mature they are. That can apply to learning, can apply to food. You know, obviously a newborn doesn't eat the same food as a 3-year-old who doesn't eat the same food as an adult. But there's an analogy to the spiritual life as well. That as we go from not having faith, not knowing Christ, not even living perhaps in sanctifying grace, to a place of deep communion with God, there's a natural growth. And there are certain types of nourishment, you could say, that are applicable for a person based on where they are in their faith. Pope Paul VI in 1975 wrote a great document called Evangelii Nuntiandi. And in that document, he identified really sort of 5 steps that a person takes from a place of no Christian faith to being a missionary. It's important to recognize where a person is in this process so that as we're trying to evangelize them, we can sort of give them the proper nourishment. So I'd like to very briefly look at these 5 steps. So the first step is witness. Pope Paul VI says that by witnessing, we reveal to others the beauty of the Christian life. And the whole purpose of Christian witness is to raise questions in the hearts of people that see the Christian. You know, they begin to wonder, why do they live that way? What is it that inspires them? Where does their hope come from? So the person that's being witnessed to, this is a person that doesn't have Christian faith. They may not even be open to Christianity or even curious about it. But hopefully by seeing someone live an authentic Christian life, begins to stir up questions within them. The next step is for a person who, even though they still haven't really come to full Christian faith, they may at least be open or at least have some degree of curiosity. Maybe they are asking questions about life or about the Catholic faith. What Paul VI says they need now is to hear the gospel proclaimed. So proclamation. This is where the kerygma, or the basic gospel message, comes in, where we share the objective truth of Christianity. You know, the paschal mystery that Christ has died, Christ is risen, Christ will come again. And this draws us right into the third part of the cycle of evangelization, and that's conversion. That at some point, every person is faced with this question: will I give everything to God? You know, for an adult, this could be manifest as being baptized if they haven't been baptized. The yes of conversion could be manifest in confession for somebody that has been away from the Catholic faith. It really is, it's our yes to the invitation that God has given, and it's the full turning of our life towards God and the desire to live forever in friendship and communion with Him. Conversion is followed by discipleship. You know, the disciples, they followed Jesus around, they listened to Him, they saw Him perform miracles, they were sent out by Him and came back and debriefed with Him. They saw how Christ lived and how He interacted with others. Discipleship really is meant to be similar to that, where we learn about the Christian faith, where we're catechized, where we receive all the sacraments and we enter into a deeply sacramental life, where we grow in prayer, we grow in the virtues, we authentically become a disciple of Jesus. But Paul VI says we're not finished there. There's actually a final stage, and that is what he calls mission. You know, Pope Francis actually has spoken about the importance of not just being disciples, but being missionary disciples. So this last stage in the cycle of evangelization is the missionary phase. That's where the disciple who has been converted goes on to bring that saving message to others. And in fact, Paul VI says that's really how we can tell if someone's evangelized or not, whether or not they are bringing the gospel out to other people. And so you can see how there's this progression as someone goes from not having Christian faith to the point of conversion through discipleship and on to mission themselves. And so it becomes a cycle, because they go back and they then begin to witness and proclaim and lead other people to conversion. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because if we don't know where a person's at, it's very difficult for us to evangelize them effectively. You know, if somebody doesn't even if people don't even trust us, if they have no Christian faith, if they're not interested, and we try to start with discipleship or catechesis or forming them as a missionary, we're totally missing the boat. It's like trying to teach my 3-year-old how to do trigonometry. At the same time, if a person is a Christian, they're faithful and they love the Lord, we need to give them real meat. We need to deepen that conversion. We can't just take a 20-year-old university student and teach them how to draw numbers. We have to really give them the treasures of the faith.